So good afternoon. I am Denise Lambert, the proud principal at the Met Sacramento High School. On behalf of the entire Met staff and community, it is my pleasure to welcome each of you to the 2019 Met Sacramento High School commencement ceremony. Class of 2019, I am so honored to be sharing this special day with you. I know that this journey comes to an end, and your new journey will be filled with great opportunities and experiences. Parents, guardians, the Met High School faculty and staff, and class of 2019, it is my pleasure to introduce to you our special guests that are sitting on stage this afternoon. First, we have members of the Sacramento City Unified District Board of Education, Board Member Lisa Murkowski, Board Member Michael Minnick, Cabinet members from the Sacramento City Unified School District Instructional Assistant Superintendent Chad Schweitzer, Chief Human Resource Officer Concy McCarn. We have our special guest person here, our Superintendent Aguilar. Lastly, joining us, we have Andrew Frischman, Co-Executive Director from Big Picture Learning. To our special guest, I am pleased and highly honored as the proud principal of the Met High School, one of the innovative high schools in the Sacramento City Unified School District, to present to you the exemplary Met High School graduating class of 2019. Now, I would like to address and acknowledge some of those phenomenal individuals whose collaboration, encouragement, motivation, and mutual dedication have assisted in establishing a tradition and excellence at the Met High School. Collectively, they have assisted our graduates in making this a special day a reality. First, I would like to recognize our tremendously talented, skilled, and caring advisors, Priya Branson, Josue Guzman, Manny Favela, so I know I speak for all of our graduates when I say we couldn't have made it without your guidance, your support, a little bit of yelling, possibly some tears, and a whole lot of motivation. Next, I would like to recognize our tremendously talented, skilled, and caring faculty and staff. Our faculty and staff deserve our gratitude and thanks for extending and motivating our students to excel. We thank them for helping the class of 2019 become the future leaders of our society. I wholeheartedly express our sincere gratitude and appreciation to you. Thank you for a job well done. At this time, I would like to give a special recognition and thanks to Ms. Cressy and Megan Barber. Ms. Cressy, with the assistance of Megan, who took this event on as our senior project, are responsible for organizing today's graduation. We appreciate all their hard work that went into making today such a special day. For all that are here today, thank you again, Ms. Cressy and Megan, for going the extra mile. Lastly, I'd like to turn our attention to our supportive parents and guardians of the most impressive and awesome graduating class of 2019. You have inspired our graduates to reach and exceed their potential. You have made many sacrifices that have molded them into the fine young people they are today. Parents and guardians, thank you for your support, for trusting us with your child, and for sharing your child with us. Together with our faculty and staff, you bring new meaning to the familiar but often misunderstood saying, it takes an entire community to educate a child. Now to the distinguished Met Sacramento graduating class of 2019, you are indeed most fortunate. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us." The Met High School class of 2019, what lies in each of you is greatness. And I encourage you to fulfill your greatness by continuing to work hard and reach your life's potential. As you sit poised on the shores of adulthood, please hold in your memory all the individuals, places, and events at the Met High School that will shape your impending futures. We are counting on you to continue to challenge yourselves to achieve your goals. The late Steve Jobs said, "Your time is limited. Do not waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living the result of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinion drown your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary." Met High School graduating class of 2019, on behalf of the faculty and staff, we are extremely grateful for the excellent traditions that you have maintained at the Met High School. Thanks for making our school a very special place, a place of great distinction. We wish you all the best that life has to offer and encourage you to give birth to your dream. Today is truly a great day to be a Metster. Congratulations, Met High School graduating class of 2019. Now I would like to invite our first speaker, board member Lisa Murkowski.
Hello, scholars. Hello, parents and families. I am Lisa Murkowski, and it's my honor to be here today as your school board member representing Area 1. I am so honored and humbled to be able to congratulate the class of 2019. This is such a momentous day to parents and family members and to the graduates. Thank you for all you've done for your scholars. Both big things and small everyday things, repeated year after year, have supported them to get to this very, very special moment. I can't say enough, thank you. And you have so much to be proud of today. To the teachers, to Principal Lambert, and to staff, thank you for pouring so much of yourselves into these students over the years. I know the Met's unique format allows you to form really special bonds with your students, and that makes graduation particularly poignant as students move on to the amazing opportunities that await. So thank you for all you've done and for every time you've gone above and beyond, as I know all of you do. And to the students, the future you are graduating into is not the future your parents graduated into. It's not even the future I graduated into 20 years ago. It's a fast-moving world, and those who will succeed are those who are prepared to think for themselves, those who are creative, who are entrepreneurial, regardless of whether that's in business or social issues or just in life. So who's prepared to succeed in this fast-moving world? You are. You, who think outside the box, who are engaged and connected to the world, who are self-directed and treat all experiences as an opportunity to learn. This is what the Met has fostered, and that's why I am confident you will thrive in the world that you are entering. Through your hard work, you've prepared yourselves to enter this world. Keep your eyes and mind and heart open to the possibilities that await. Ask questions. Keep asking questions. Don't accept the status quo. I know you won't, because you can do better. And remember, as someone wiser than me once said, the harder you work, the luckier you get. Congratulations, Met Class of 2019.
Thank you, Board Member Murkowski. Next is our first valedictorian speech from Gino Ramirez.
Yeah! Hello, everyone. My name is Gino Ramirez, and I want to thank you for taking the time to come out and celebrate the next chapter of your family and friends sitting in front of you today. Now, before coming to the Met and becoming an honorable Metster, I was a mannequin. I had no special skills or hobbies, and up until that point, I had no friends. I had no sense of clarity and nothing to lose. But what coming to the Met gave me was a sense of direction for once. See, the day I took the risk of enrolling into a school that not too many people I knew had ever heard of or even considered enrolling into, life began to change for me. I was stepping into a new chapter in my life, similar to now. Only it wouldn't have happened unless I jumped into that window of opportunity to come here. You know, most people want to be in the inner circle. They want to go where their friends are. But me, I wanted to break free from all that, and it didn't happen overnight. After a few months of settling in at the Met, I began to take a new shape. I was in new surroundings, accompanied by new people, and pushed far outside of my little bubble. So what do humans naturally do when they're introduced to a new environment? They adapt. And not just because I felt forced to, but because I wanted to. I began to dress differently. I began to talk differently. And people noticed. I remember running into an old friend, and as I was talking to her, she gave me this sour look as she interrupted me and then asked why I talk the way I do now. And even I was confused to think maybe I was speaking with some foreign accent. But what I realized in that moment was the drastic difference in where I stood from my past. I believe what contributed to my growth was having mentors throughout high school. And I think more than just having anybody to call your mentor, what really sets the bar is having a mentor that can make it a fair exchange. I learned my junior year that a mentor could go from being a complete stranger from another world to becoming somewhat of a family member who would go as far as bringing your family dinner while your dad's in the hospital. I don't know if anyone here truly knows how lucky we are to have gotten the chance to find what we love to do early in life. And even if you didn't figure it out in high school, at least you're a little less unsure, and you probably now know what you don't want to do. At age 15, I read somewhere that there's two things that you have the option of doing in life. You can either build someone else's dream or build your own dream. And for the past 4 years, we each sought out and captured the vision of local business owners through community service, internships, and senior thesis projects. At some point in time, we all took on the role of either being busboys, dishwashers, I don't know, maybe you interned for your third grade teacher, maybe you were a baker, an assistant mechanic, a broker, apprentice sewer, a shoemaker. And the list could go on, but my point is this. Having worked in either which of these fields and gaining a good enough perspective of what the quote-unquote real world is like, our dreams all of a sudden feel a lot more attainable and not as far out of reach. Because what we've done as the interns is not just help build someone else's dream, but nonetheless find a dream to capture and mold into one of our own. I'm sure we'll hear some people say that high school for them was about finding love. Others may say it's about making never-ending friendships. But for me, my high school finding was the answer to that open-ended, coming-of-age question we've all been asked, which is, what do you want to do for a living? When I was 16, I thought I'd be a rapper. But, oh yeah, you know. Skinny jeans, all right. But deep down, way before that, I wanted to design clothes. Having Mick Stevenson, Constance Agee, and Richard Hallmark as my mentors throughout high school, and going from a restaurant internship where I served as a busboy, and then interning for a fashion school and discovering a new little world that coexists and the same one we all live in completely changed me and my life forever. I'd like to thank the ones before us who built the door and left it open for the next generation of contributors to walk through it. And I'd especially like to thank my high school and the staff that make it the best kept secret there is. With that being said, congratulations, class of 2019. The party's over. It's game time.
Thank you, Gino. Next, we have a valedictorian speech from Celeste Brusicoro.
fellow graduates, this senior year has been full of many surprises, but I'm excited to start this next chapter of our lives with you. I remember when I came here freshman year, and they told us we would grow together and become a family. All we knew is none of us got along, and we were way too different, so you can probably imagine the doubt we had when they told us this. Though I understand now what they meant. Now we are strong because together we let each other be weak. We are fearless because we were afraid. We are trusting because we were not to be guarded, and we are wiser because we were foolish. We let each other become vulnerable. We picked each other up when one of us was down. We accepted that for better or for worse, we were stuck with each other. As our senior year is coming to an end, I would look back and I'm thankful to have a support system I can always count on. It's amazing how much everyone has changed since we first started at the Met. We went from thinking Maria was this little innocent, sweet girl to realizing that she was the one who was mysteriously blasting Metallica in class. From thinking Hassel never spoke to realizing he only speaks when he wants to. And many more. We've seen relationships start and we've seen them end. We've seen people create cliques and we've seen them shift around a little. Like, who would have thought freshman year that me and Carly would now be really close friends? It's crazy, and we don't always realize what went into who we became today, but it was the Met. It shaped us. It made us who we didn't choose to be, but who we were meant to be. And I'd like to thank everyone at the Met for being there for all of us, whether we wanted them to be or not. I'd like to thank a few people individually who have gotten me to this point today. First off, I'd like to thank my mom for always having my back, even when we were fighting. I'd like to thank my best friend Trinity, because when I had nowhere to go and no one to talk to, or so I thought, she proved she was going to be there forever. Lastly, I'd like to thank Brianna, Carly, Javi, and Hassel, because although I wasn't close with them freshman through junior year, I'm so grateful for our friendship today. Most of all, though, I'd like to thank Manny, as he's been there for me and for all of us through thick and thin. He has been a huge part of many of our lives, and I'd like to think he thinks the same of us. We were there for his marriage, his first kid, his second kid, and we all know I was there even when he wouldn't admit there was a second kid. It just shows the love we all have for each other. Manny was there when I was having trouble talking about my life in my past. He was there to guide us when we didn't know what to do, encourage us when we felt powerless, but he also knows that sometimes we make mistakes, and he was there to help us pick up the pieces. No amount of words could ever describe the appreciation I have for him. As the years go by, whether it's 5 years or 15, just know that wherever I go, I will always remember the lessons you taught me, as they are now imprinted in every word I say, sentence I think, and path I choose. I encourage everyone, whether it be your advisor or someone else, to tell them what they mean to you before you say your final goodbye to our years at the Met. I wasn't really prepared for this moment, leaving behind everything that I've known for the last 4 years, my home. It's strange to think that we were once having our last first day of school, our last exhibition, our last potluck. It has been a long and short 4 years, to say the least. Long because of all the boring homework, childish drama, and last-minute projects, but short because of all the memories, life lessons, and friendships we've made. We've gone through so much together, and will continue to do so as we venture off into adulthood, as the bonds we've made are way too tight to be broken, and I'm grateful to call you all my family. As we move on and start to do our own things, we have to remember that some people can stay in your heart and not in your lives, and that's okay. While some of us will move across the world and others down the road, it is good to have an end to every adventure. Just make sure the adventure was worth it in the end. We, the class of 2019, will push boundaries and work hard to make a world we want to live in, and it all started here at the Met with us. Congratulations, graduates. We did it.
Thank you, Celeste. Our next speaker is Co-Executive Director from Big Picture Learning, Andrew Frischman. Please help me in welcoming Mr. Frischman to the podium.
Thank you, Principal Lambert. Thank you, Gino. Thank you, Celeste. I travel a great deal to Big Picture Learning schools across the United States and around the world, but being invited to return here to the Met Sacramento to celebrate with the class of 2019 is really a rare treat and an honor. It's an honor to pay $5 to speak at this, and I would say it would be an honor to pay a lot more. It's worth it. I'm grateful to the students and the parents, the families, the loved ones, mentors, staff from the Met Sacramento, principal, Constance McCann, Chad Schweitzer, Superintendent Jorge Aguilar for continuing to make this all possible. With Carlos Moreno, I have the privilege of leading Big Picture Learning, including a network of 75 schools across the US and 200 around the world, like them at Sacramento. But getting to return here and spend time with this remarkable class is really special. It was here in the community at Met Sacramento, that I learned not only about the challenges in the world of education, but also the opportunity for transformational change. We're here at a turbulent time in this country and in the United States public education system, and it's the ongoing support from leaders like Superintendent Aguilar, from Sac City Unified School District, from the Sacramento City Teachers Association, and all the local stakeholders, including the legions of mentors and community organizations and businesses that host interns and make the success of these graduates possible. I feel a little bit like I'm back at my own alma mater. In fact, I'm wearing the class ring of the Met 2007, the first graduating class 12 years ago. That's right, 12. And I've been continuing to connect with alumni. So it was sort of once an internship coordinator, always an internship coordinator. There's an alum from the MetSac class of 2014 who recently graduated from college back east. I live in Cambridge and Boston. And he just finished a year, he graduated from college, finished a year in the AmeriCorps Vista program, doing City Year there in Boston. And he and I have stayed in touch, and as he's charting his next steps, he's still navigating and networking with me through LinkedIn to explore opportunities in New York City. And a couple of weeks ago, he and I were grabbing a beverage. He's 23 years old now, I just want to be clear. And he was telling me about the really powerful connection he still has with his advisor, Mac, the way in which he has his internship. That's right. He was telling me about his internship experiences in high school and how they continue to influence his career trajectory, and he was catching me up on his advisory and his family. But I digress. It's this moment that feels really important, and I feel like I want to deliver some sort of great, powerful, inspirational, positive message. I'm not sure I have that in me, but over the next 3 hours, I'll try to start instead with a positive. I'll start with 2 negative messages, but if you multiply them together, so here's the 2 negative messages. 1, the world is faced right now with a host of seemingly intractable challenges and problems. And 2, they're not getting better on their own. So let's get darker. Here's some of the challenges these graduates face. There's global warming and climate change, there's rising economic inequality, there's inequitable access to quality education, public health, and affordable medical care, there's sexism, homophobia, transphobia, xenophobia, racism that can lead to brutal interactions with the police and law enforcement. And exacerbating all of this is an onslaught of technology, disrupting so many aspects of our life that the unprecedented spread of news and information and misinformation that can lead to people failing to vaccinate their own children, and again, the proliferation of all sorts of life-threatening diseases. So how's that? There we go. So where is the hope? Where is the hope? Well, part of the reason that I first became an educator is that I wanted to know, how would you prepare young people to become the adult leaders who would tackle these seemingly intractable problems head on? How would you do this? Well, you'd have to have young people grapple with at least 3 significant questions that were posed first by Rabbi Hillel. He said, 1, if I am not for myself, who will be for me? 2, if I am for myself alone, what am I? And 3, if not now, when? So if I'm not for myself, who will be for me? The first thing we would do is begin by asking students to spend time in self-reflection, to understand their own interests and talents, and develop an appreciation that they can make a difference. If I am for myself alone, what am I? We would have students develop deep relationships with their peers, with educators, with adult mentors in the fields they want to pursue. And we would urge students to think about what big problems and challenges they want to work on. And we keep their learning closely connected to their families and communities. If not now, when? We wouldn't wait. We wouldn't box young people up away in classrooms and tell them that first they have to develop all the technical skills and knowledge before they go out into the real world to make a difference. We would help them learn to swim by swimming. So does this sound familiar? This is the way in which you, Met Sacramento students, have been prepared to become adults and leaders that our communities so desperately need. You are all a group of gifted, talented individuals, and your time at the Met and your internships have given you opportunities to discover and develop those gifts and talents, and to forge relationships that will be invaluable as you move forward into adulthood. You've benefited from connecting with each other and also with your advisors, Manny, Priya, and Josue. Also with the educators I was privileged enough to have as colleagues, Vicky, Chico, Mac, Patrick, Grace, Cressy, yeah, I guess Philip too, maybe. Maybe someday there will be a day that you'll appreciate Philip, maybe. But it's the steady leadership of Denise and all of the new staff who've joined that make this such a special place. And we hope and expect that you come back to share the challenges you're facing and to celebrate your accomplishments. And now you're about to become part of the Met Sacramento and Big Picture Learning network of alumni. And that makes you part of a special and growing group of folks across the US and around the world. All you need to do is pick up the phone and call, text, snap each other, and you will be there to support each other, right? Right? Now, the challenges that you and that we face can seem overwhelming. What can you do? What can we do? I had dinner last night with friends from back in the days when I lived here, and one thing that we can do is that stay connected with friends and family, this family that you've created over the past 4 years. While having dinner with my friends, I mentioned that I was speaking here today, and I asked the youngest person at the table, a 10-year-old daughter, I said, "What advice should I give to the graduates?" And she said, "Have fun, because otherwise you're going down." And I believe that this is wise and insightful advice. Over the past 4 years, you've learned to pursue your interests and passions in ways that are rewarding to you, beneficial to your communities, and sustainable for the world. As a parent of a kindergartner and a third grader who are growing up in this turbulent world, I rest easier at night knowing that you and your classmates and alumni from the Big Picture Learning schools all over the country and around the world are flowing forward, rising into adulthood to make this world a better, more just, and equitable place. Thank you for what you have done and what you will do. I know that you're going to change and improve this world to create a more peaceful and prosperous future for us all. And we really need you to do that. Onwards. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Frischman. Next, we have a valedictorian speech from Sophia Thompson.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Nelson Mandela once said, "It always seems impossible until it's done." I believe that this quote can best represent my high school career. Now, I didn't start out at the Met. I had no idea it even existed up until my sophomore year. Until then, I attended Pleasant Grove High School. This school is where I went through the worst of my teenage years, all my phases, thinking everyone was out to get me and that everything was impossible. Academics and thinking about my future was something that I never even considered. I was really ready for a change. Halfway through my sophomore year, I came to my parents wanting to change schools. Initially, I wanted to be homeschooled. They were pretty against that, so later on they suggested the Met. I was up for anything at this point, so I agreed. I was used to a huge school that had a substantial amount of kids. The Met was not like that. Everyone used laptops and called their teachers and admin by their first names. I had to learn a whole new way of communication. Downtown Sacramento was a new area to me. I had to learn a new schedule, and most importantly, I had to learn to get uncomfortable. I remember my first day very clearly. It went by extremely slow, and I said a maximum of 20 words the entire day. I was shy, anxious, and starting to think I made a huge mistake. I went home that day wanting to go back to my old school. I felt discouraged, like I wasn't good enough to attend the Met. Boy, has a lot changed. I learned that in order to overcome the impossible, you must make yourself uncomfortable. You must do the work in order to succeed, and most importantly, you must believe in yourself. At the Met, I was given a platform to learn about myself in order to accomplish what I perceived to be impossible. My first internship, for instance, was a huge confidence boost for me. I got to take on a huge amount of responsibilities at such a young age. I learned to communicate with adults, handle money, learn the financial aspects of what it takes to run a small business. Later on in the year, I got offered a paid job, so I took it, not thinking about what it would lead to. After 1.5 years of working there, I got promoted to manager. The Met also teaches self-responsibility and the importance of advocating for yourself. When I was having trouble finding an internship site through the school's database, I turned to the tools that I had learned and relied on my newfound confidence and knowledge and ended up convincing 3 companies who weren't even looking for an intern that they needed one. Before I got to the Met, the idea of standing in front of anybody and presenting for more than 2 minutes was absolutely nauseating. But now, through many excruciating gateways and exhibitions, I'm able to stand here in front of hundreds of people and share my story. My time at the Met has taught me that the more you accomplish, the more you believe in yourself. You build your confidence through a series of small victories, whether it's passing a learning goal, securing an internship, or completing your senior thesis project. These small victories have built my confidence and prepared me to go beyond high school and into the real world and turned what I once thought was impossible into a reality. I owe a great deal of my success to the Met, the people that surrounded me with unconditional support and advice, and my family. Josue, who is someone I will always be grateful to have had as an advisor, no matter how many times I got middle roomed, it was a lot. He has helped me in so many ways, from offering great advice about college, putting things in perspective when I'm stressed, especially during gateways, and most importantly, reminding me to slow down and enjoy the time that I have as a high school student. So thank you, Josue, for being such an amazing mentor and advisor. I would also like to express gratitude to my advisory, because without them, I would not have formed the friendships that I have today. Call it a family of sorts. Our advisory is made up of many people that have very different interests and very different qualities, and I truly have grown a soft spot for each and every one of you. So thank you so much for being a supportive second family that I could always lean to. My family is the main reason that I strive for greatness. I know that they have my back every single time, so therefore I'm fearless of trying my absolute best. They mean the absolute world to me. First, I'd like to thank my mom, hi Mom, for always being there for me and giving me the best advice whenever I need it, and I've needed a lot of it. My dad for waking up early every morning and driving me precisely an hour and 10 minutes to get to school on time, and for being someone who I can always count on. My sister for being someone who is able to calm me down when I come to her room in the middle of the night stressing out about my future. I would not be here without you guys, so thank you. Lastly, I'd like to acknowledge all of you, the class of 2019, and invite you guys to continue to make the small victories that will lead up to the bigger picture. Make the impossible possible. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Sophia. Internships are a critical part of our program at the Met. We have been fortunate to have 300 plus mentors each school year dedicate their time and share their expertise with our students. Some mentors are new, while others have been with us for quite some time. At this time, I'd like to introduce you to a mentor who has continued to support our students through internships since 2015. It has been almost 5 years, and we hope for another 5 more to come. Class of 2019, family and friends, I introduce you to the Workforce Outreach and Education Relations Strategist from SMUD, Ms. Susan Wheeler.
Outside of the fact that these are the brightest lights I think I've ever seen, this is just such a great opportunity for our company to be able to participate in an ongoing internship such as the Met. I think you probably all know how special this program is. Until I moved to Sacramento and started working for SMUD, I never knew that the Met existed, and I think a number of you have pointed out that you're the best kept secret. Anyone that I talk to who asks me what type of school, what program they should send their students to, the Met is always at the top of my list. You have a unique opportunity, more so than any other school that I work with, and I work with pretty much every school in the region, because you are given a chance to really not only see what the real world is, but you get to form those relationships with adults in workplaces, and that's so important. Because I think you probably heard the term, social capital, emotional capital, etc. You're building that really early, and that's so, so important. So a few things that your fellow valedictorians said today that really struck me was, Gino had mentioned, it's not only important to know what you like to do, it's also really important to know what you don't like to do. And in my career, I had an opportunity. I've worked in large companies and in small companies and for startups. And one of the companies I worked for, I did business planning. And it really meant just looking at all the details internally. I'm very much a detail-oriented person, but it meant not really working with the community. And I was contacted by Microsoft to see if I wanted to do the same type of job for them. And I said, do I work with anybody outside the company? They said, no. I said, nah, I don't even want to interview. So just as important to know what you don't want to do. I didn't even bother to go and interview with them. And then Celeste talked about the importance of family. So not only do you have this family here at the Met, but when you go to the workplace, choose a place to work that you can also feel like you're working with family. So I talked to a lot of young people, and it seems that number one in their mind is how much money they're going to make. And I will tell you from personal experience, that isn't what's so most important. You can make a ton of money, but wake up every day and dread going to work. So really take into consideration who you're going to work with, what is the work you're going to do, what's the value that you're going to add. That's so, so important. And then lastly, so Sophia talked about how much her parents helped her. And so I really want to thank all the parents who have kind of supported their students, but also maybe shown the light in terms of what was available out there. A lot of parents don't know about schools like the Met, and I think it really can make a huge difference. And I just want to leave students with one last thing, and that's being open to change. I started out my career, actually started out thinking I was going to be a librarian. I love to read. So I studied English, and then I thought, well, what am I going to do with a degree in English? Not that I don't still love to read. And so someone said, well, maybe chemistry. So I went to school thinking, okay, I'll get a good degree in chemistry. And then someone said, well, you'll have to probably get a PhD to really move ahead. And I'm thinking, oh, can't imagine going to school for that long. So I went to college in the day and ages that computers were just really getting started. So I actually, because I was good with language, went into computer science. So my background, I have a degree from Berkeley in computer science, and I did that for a number of years, but now I'm doing something totally different. I'm in human resources. So wait, I went from, what is it, left brain to right brain to left brain, whatever the brains are that are out there. But I was open to change, doing something totally different, something that allowed me to work with the community, something that allowed me to make a difference. So again, leave you with those words, be open to change. I also talked to many, many companies about the internships and the opportunities they have in working with students from the Met. So I am out there as your, well, I would say I will say I'm number one booster out there, just saying how great the students are from the Met. So good luck, everyone. Please, if you're looking for paid internships, come and look at SMUD. We have paid college internships. So, all right, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wheeler. Please welcome to the stage our final valedictorian speaker, Cecilia Ramirez Gonzalez.
Okay, don't worry. I love you too. Good afternoon. I was tasked to do a valedictorian speech, and as all the other students, I was having a brain fart. As always, I demanded Manny's attention. I pointed my short finger at a regular plastic chair and I said, sit. And he sat. It made me feel powerful. Manny advised that I wrote what I was doing to help my creative juices flow. The first thing my brain began thinking about was freshman year. The faces I saw in my flashback are different than the ones I'm looking at right now. I remember their baby faces and their young voices. Now they have grown faces full of facial hair, even the girls. My name is Cecilia Ramirez, and I am part of the best advisory that has existed, aka Manny's advisory. It's crazy to think that I came in as an emotionless, hug-hating person, and now I'm probably the softest for my advisory. I'm still not a fan of group hugs, oh no. I want to say I have grown fond of the Met, and I'll be the typical high school student to say they hate the high school they went to. But I still want to acknowledge the founder of the Met, or whoever it was, for coming up with the wonderful idea of advisories, because they gave me my family. Hands down, the best part about the Met is the advisories. Although the Met is very different compared to bigger and more traditional high schools, it still did its job, along with the staff, to make me feel prepared for the world. I'm leaving with all the experience that I got from community service, cultural events, internships, and events in and out of school. My parents are from Mexico, and they crossed the border so I could cross the stage. And now I'm a first-generation high school graduate. They don't know much about the educational system here, so college was a hard topic. I knew I wanted to go to college. I knew what major I wanted. But what I didn't know was the process of applying to college. I became scared that I wouldn't get accepted anywhere for misunderstanding a question and answering wrong. Thanks to my advisor Manny, to my mentor Alma, and my school's college counselor Amber, because of the weight they lifted off my shoulders when they came to the rescue and were willing to help me with college or anything I needed, and still continue to check in with me for new concerns. I know now where I'm going to be next year. Stingers up! I have been shaped into someone I can't believe I've become. Manny has got to know who I am, and when I asked him if he could write my first letter of recommendation for college back in October, he asked me a few questions based on the essay. But one stuck out to me because I didn't know how to answer. I simply said that I wanted to be an architect because it had once been my dad's goal. At some point, I began to believe that I was only doing it for my dad. But Manny, I have my answer now. I chose the architecture major, and I'm going to college because I chose to do so. It is my goal, but it's made up of bits and pieces of smaller personal goals and parts I took from both my parents' goals. This isn't just my achievement, it's also my parents', because I can finally show them how much their hard work has also paid off. No solo es mi sueño el que se está volviendo realidad, también es el de mis padres. Al fin podré demostrarles cuánto valió la pena todo el esfuerzo que ellos han hecho porque yo pudiera estudiar y por mi futuro. He alcanzado mi meta y espero estén muy orgullosos de mí porque voy a graduarme e intentaré ser el ejemplo a seguir para mis hermanos menores. I never did this on my own. I always had people helping me, and now I'm crossing the stage and you're all here walking with me. Congratulations to the graduating Met Wolves of 2019. I'm not a lone wolf, I roll with my pack.
Thank you, Cecilia. So at this time, I would like to recognize special awards that have been given to our students. The first awards are the Golden State Seal Awards. The Golden State Seal Award is awarded jointly by the State Board of Education and the State Superintendent of Public Instruction to recognize students who have demonstrated mastery of the high school curriculum in at least 6 subject areas. If I could have the recipients of this award, please stand. The next award is the Seal of Biliteracy. The Seal of Biliteracy is given to students who have studied and attained proficiency in 2 or more languages by high school graduation. Will the recipients of the Seal of Biliteracy please stand? Next, we have the award from Senate District 6 Scholastic Achievement Awards. These awards are for Most Outstanding Student and Most Improved. Will the recipients please stand? Lastly, we would like to acknowledge those students that are receiving the Panther Pipeline Cord, Golden Cord, and Platinum Cord. The Panther Pipeline Cord is given to students who have taken 1 or more classes at Sacramento City College. The Golden Cord is given to those students who have received a 3.5 GPA or higher, and the Platinum Cord to those who have received a 3.8 GPA or higher. Will the recipients please stand? Now, we're at the moment where everyone has been waiting for. The presentation of the diplomas. If I could have Eli Dela Cruz, our assistant principal, come and read our graduate names.
Sarah Blinko. Cecilia Ramírez González. Alondra Sweat. Natalie Foster. Megan Barber. Nayana Allen. Alexis O'Neill. Zuri Staley. Kylia Howard. David Swartz. Jordan Jones. Sean Bradbury. Aiden Talmadge. Isaiah Behrens. Grayson Kelly. Quinn Ford. Dylan Freed. Francesca Caccia. Troy Madere. Thiago dos Santos. Marco Bella. Cameron Doherty. Aiden McCarrick. Geo Downs Tony. Hadley Nevin. Alyssa Hakim. Javier Fraga Piña. Hazel Alcalá. Star Zahari Porres. Arabella Mesa. Arabes Linalu. Alejandro Mendoza. Tara Richards. Sophia Lonchar. Evelyn Espinosa. Julia Ayala. Sophia Thompson. Canela Cruz. Brianna Bell. Xavier Mercado. Brenda Cruz Escobedo. Celeste Brusacorum. Maria Pfeiffer. Carly Gross. Gabriela Sanchez. Senaya Padilla Gilliam. Alexandra Schmidt. Gino Ramirez. Jeremiah Haberstock. Jacob Lewis. Natalie Magaña. Bunla Sayasit.
We are almost done with our celebration. If I could have board member Lisa Murkowski join me here at the podium. So board member Lisa Murkowski, trustee of the Sacramento City Unified School District Board of Education, as the proud principal of the Met High School, I am pleased to present the members of the class of 2019 of the Met Sacramento High School who have met all of the requirements of graduation set forth by the state of California and the Sacramento City Unified School District.
Thank you, Principal Lambert. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Sacramento City Unified School District's Board of Education, I congratulate the graduates as having met all of the requirements, and they are hereby granted the high school diploma to the Met's high school class of 2019.
Thank you, Board Member Murkowski. Ladies and gentlemen, I officially present to you the Met Sacramento High School Senior Class of 2019. Seniors, please move your tassels from right to left. Congratulations, Class of 2019.